Nigerians, welcome to my show today. In this video, we'll be talking about is INEC ready for credible elections in 2019? And we'll be talking about various issues that actually affect the Nigerian elections. I will not be spending a lot of time, but I will just hit some point. There is crisis in the northern eastern region of Nigeria. Those who are displaced by Boko Haram, how do they vote? Those who have been displaced and in internal displaced camps, IDPs, how do they vote? What about those in Kano? What about those in Zamfara, Bauchi and Borno that are being affected by this? That is one thing to actually consider. So will this population be excluded? What are the security concerns for them to vote? Can they actually vote? Who's going to provide security for them? So these are things that should be looked into. What's the next thing? We have the use of talks. What is the position of security? Will talks continue to reap our elections? So it's something we should actually look into. Definitely talks will be used. But how do we stop these talks? Should we bring in security men? And if we should bring security men, what kind of security men are we bringing? We are hearing about the military coming to start their dance. Someone is saying they should not dance. But if they don't dance, who is going to come? So should we use the military for civic duties like ensuring credible elections? These are issues that should be. What about the issues of contentious primaries? The INEC saw what happened in different political parties. You saw what happened in the APC. Some people moved. Why? Because they saw that candidates were just picked. You saw what happened in Lagos. How Ambode begged, but he said he was rejected. So you can see the issue with the contentious primary elections. Is that a sign that INEC cannot properly conduct elections in 2019? What about the failure of INEC to properly communicate among themselves and with the general public? These are things that should be looked into. INEC cannot communicate. What about the transmission of results? How are they going to transmit the results? You saw one of the Nigerian newspapers published a report that says INEC is likely to take 5 days to actually collect the results. While that is not actually official, but that is something to look into. So can INEC effectively communicate with themselves and communicate with Nigerians? Like someone said, Nigerians, after you vote, don't go home. Stay there. Let them count it in your presence. Let them say this particular polling unit had X amount of votes, so that when they bring it before the people, we'll know that something has been forged or not. What about the use of hate speech? There is lots of hate speech around the internet, on the TV. When APC and a PDP person is invited for a talk, it's hate speech. When they were campaigning, it's hate speech. We're thinking about parties that are actually inciting hatred in the mind of Nigerians. That is something that should be looked into. What about the issues of arms infiltration? Who is talking about that? Where will many of these talks get their weapon from? It's something that should be looked into. What about the data analytics on social media and the internet? Does the report on the internet from data analytics not show that Nigerians are tired of this government? Where is the data pointing to? Who is the candidate that the people truly want? So these are things we should look into. What about the use of funds for political campaigns and the transparency of those funds. We saw recently how different groups bought forms for different politicians like Atiku and Buhari and all that. Okay, it's true. Where did this money come from? You see, different institutions are now being set up. For what reason? So that they can support. You see the donation of cars. You see the buying of votes for them. You see different things that are actually happening. So can we actually say that these political parties and INEC itself and all the stakeholders involved with elections are ready for free and fair elections? What about the church and the elections? 2019, to the religious, there are a lot of prophecies. There are a lot of political people. You saw Reverend Ubanka, the one who once criticized Buhari. He supported Buhari 2015, criticized Buhari before 2019, and now he's endorsing Buhari. What about the various men who are the powerhouse in the church who are interfering in election matters? Are you sure that the election in 2019 is going to be free? How much has INEC and the media and political parties done to actually educate the masses on their civic rights, how to resist corrupt practices? How much have they done to actually educate people that if you take 5,000 naira or a bag of rice or 10,000 naira or whatever amount, that you are actually mortgaging, is selling your future and the future of your children and your unborn generations? So how much has been done as concerning voters' education? These are questions that should be looked into. Another question that should be looked into is Amina Zakari's appointment. INEC has officially come out to say that this lady, who many claim to be a niece to President Buhari, will be the one in charge of election collation. So what does that mean? It means she will be the one who will finally give the tally of the elections to the INEC chairman. If such a sensitive position, if such a sensitive office that decides the fate of a nation can be occupied by someone who is of Buhari's family or bloodline, then something may not be right somewhere. I ask again, is INEC ready for credible elections? What about the issue of the IG's tenure being extended? Are there justifiable reasons why his tenure should be extended? Are there no justifiable reasons why he should step down? Are you sure? Like the elections and police using show of force, would that not be repeated? What about President Buhari's refusal to sign the Elections Amendment Bill for the past 2 years? And the House refusal to get the necessary number to override the President's decision. These are issues that should be looked into. The use of security forces. There are killings in Zamfara, killings in Kaduna, killings in Borno. There is Boko Haram and all that. Do you think that these people are ready for free and fair elections? Are you sure that Mr. Integrity, whose integrity is in question, who gave a speech and said the election is not a do or die affair. Are you sure that this man will actually follow what he's saying? Are you not sure that this man is not ready to let this election an affair that is not a do or die? What about the media? Is the media not biased? Is the media not giving certain aspects of political parties some chance? Let me know what you think. I think the media is biased. There are many proof stories. The media is biased. And then the last question is, will Buhari step down if defeated? I'm not saying he's going to be defeated, but I'm saying, will Buhari step down if he is defeated? With the issue that came up with the Osun election inconclusive, will it not come up? So Nigerians, these are some of the few issues that we should look into if INEC is ready for credible elections in 2019. Look into this properly.